Hi everyone, welcome to my new video series. This is the Confident Inspirational Women Across the Globe video series, where I interview confident, inspirational women all across the globe about their inspirational stories, inspirational businesses, and empower women to live a life beyond their wildest dreams. I am your host. I am Christy Rich. I am a visibility and confidence coach for creative entrepreneurs. I help you to boost your confidence, to grow your visibility, and to stand out in your industry by releasing your blocks, your fears, and to create engaging, fun online videos. And today, I'm very pleased to welcome my guest, who is Sonya. And Sonya and I actually knew each other from California
Yeah.
so many years ago. So it's nice to come full circle and welcome you to my show.
Thanks, Christy.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And Sonya, I forgot to ask how to pronounce your last name, though. Is it Genel?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Sonya Genel joyfully embraces the power of yoga not only to heal and transform the body, but also to heighten human consciousness and to create a radiant life. In her classes, Sonya weaves precise anatomical alignment with flowing movement, always approaching her students with authenticity and humor. Sonya's intention is to hold space for a direct embodied connection with spirit. When she's not teaching yoga, Sonya can often be found drawing or painting. As an artist, she notices the profound effects of yoga that has on her creativity, and she has dedicated herself to enthusiastically guiding others towards enhancing their own unique life path through yoga. Welcome, Sonya! Yay!
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, great.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And Sonya, you're in Berkeley today, is that correct?
That's right. Live in Berkeley, California, just outside San Francisco, where I also teach and work.
Okay, beautiful. Just wanted to let everybody know where you were from today. And so we're going to start in, and I just would love for you to share your personal story. If you could tell us about how you became a yoga instructor, where you're originally from, and how the journey began.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me that I've been doing yoga my whole life, so it's almost hard to remember a time when yoga wasn't a part of my life. But I began practicing. I went into my first yoga class when I was only 15 years old. I just took a yoga class at the gym, and that was in the late 90s in Boston on the East Coast.
Okay.
And yoga wasn't really as popular then as it is now. Like, it wasn't the cool thing that all my friends were doing at all.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a weird thing a little bit, and that kind of attracted me to it, frankly. It just felt different than any other, exercise or fitness routine, and I was immediately drawn to it and just enjoyed it a lot. Pretty early on, without knowing very much about it, I would just go to yoga and fitness classes.
Okay.
Then in college, as I got older, all the different stresses of, growing up and becoming a young adult and, just trying to get all my work done and the pressures of life and, things changing. And also I was experiencing a lot of back pain at that time, possibly as a combination of stress, and I had a mild case of scoliosis always growing up.
Okay.
And so I had chronic, sort of generalized, really bad pain in my back, especially around when I was 19 years old. And yoga really saved me from that. It really kept me in a grounded place, in a connected place, in a sane place through those tumultuous younger years.
Good.
And also it led me on a sort of a healing journey with some pretty extreme back pain that I was having. Even though I was so young, I had so much chronic pain, and I realized it was a combination of physical, anatomical ailments and also stress and lifestyle. And so pretty early on, that set me on a path of healing and wholeness and integration that I don't think I would have stepped on so early in life had I not had that pain. So I'm
Mm.
grateful for the pain, and I'm grateful for the early discovery of yoga in my life. And I just kind of never turned back. I was studying art in college, and when I graduated, I decided I wanted to become a yoga teacher, and so I did. And I had already been practicing for about 6 years at that point, but then I did a teacher training and I started teaching around Greater Boston. And slowly that became much more the forefront of my life's work than making or selling art was, even though I still love to make art for, my own personal enjoyment, or designing shirts or logos for people. But yoga became my career over the next decade or so. So
Beautiful. I'm glad. It's very interesting to hear about your experience starting with your back pain and how that led you on this journey. It's very interesting. Yeah. And I think a lot of people have that. They have that one point that kind of takes them into a different direction. That's actually similar to my story, too, how I got into healing. So very interesting.
Yeah.
And I want to really emphasize with everyone here that you're a very unique yoga instructor. And you do so very much. You are very varied, so I will share some of the things I know that you do, and I'm sure you may have more to add. But even when I was there, you did yoga and you took us on hikes. So you got us outside and you got us in the fresh air and hiking and then going up to the top and then doing yoga. And I know now you do yoga with dinner, so people can have an experience of having a yoga class and then having a nice nurturing meal at the end to have nice community. And you also do live music, so some of your classes include live music as well as the yoga. And you're also branching out, and you've taught overseas in Bulgaria. You do retreats often, California, I know Costa Rica as well. You do online videos that you teach, so people don't have to be present there in California, but they can still learn about yoga and be familiar with you. And also you do moon circles, so you're very much into meditation, into mysticism and astrology, as well as your art. So you're very varied, you have many talents, and you're really branching yourself out there in so many beautiful ways. So my question is, did you dream of doing all that you're doing in your yoga career, or did it just kind of unfold naturally? Were you guided? Were you led? Was it also your teacher who you study with? How did it all come about?
I feel like it's a ever unfolding process. I thank you so much for that description. It's kind of interesting to hear yourself described back, and that's really sweet. Thank you. I do pursue all those things, and I do feel inspired and guided to do all those things. And it's been a process of following my intuition and just showing up again and again. And sometimes I think I know where it's all going and what's going to be my focus, and then inevitably it's actually a little different, and it comes together in a way that I couldn't have ever possibly planned for, and it's better than anything I dreamed of. And other times it's disappointing, and other times it's confusing. So I think the key to doing this work full time as I do is sort of showing up no matter what, and also being flexible and being creative, and having that clear goal and direction that you're going for. But more importantly than that is just the ability to listen to your intuition and to spirit as it guides you. And I really think that's key, and that's at the center of everything I offer and I try to teach and hold space for. I'm really interested in people tapping into their own knowing, like their own intuitive inner guidance, because I think that is a birthright, and it's hardwired into every single person. And the more you can trust that and tap into that, the more your life will seemingly magically unfold, and all kinds of things will happen that will be different for you than they are for me or anybody else, but that's as it should be.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much at the heart of all the different things I do. There's that central theme of connecting to your heart, to your inner knowing, and following your intuition, no matter what anyone might think about it, or even what you might think about it. But like it's like a in your bones,
Yes.
type of feeling. And that's what all the practices support. And that's what all the things I do support, whether it's online classes or retreats or yoga, music, and dinner, which I offer with my partner, Rasa. We call that the Big Little Bowl.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I also love your slogan, too. Create a radiant life. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that is what we should all aspire for, to live a radiant life. Yes. And you're doing it through all that you offer. I think it's beautiful. So I also wanted to touch on when I was in San Francisco and when we met, you were going through a big time of transformation. And you were just about to really step into your power, and you were about to step outside of your comfort zone and to really go and do all these exciting things, like starting to teach in Bulgaria and do these retreats and really go bigger than I think a lot of yoga instructors do. A lot of them just really juggle trying to get as many classes as possible and filling those, but you were really opening yourself up to something bigger, to really be seen by a bigger audience and to go deeper. And I think for a lot of people, this is scary. And a lot of people do feel the call, like you felt the call that you needed to step up and be bigger and to try something new. But it's scary. And I wonder if you can maybe share your experience of what it was like at that time, and perhaps give some advice to others, to women who know they need to show up bigger, be more visible, or take some risks, but it's scary to go outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Well, I think that I've been moving through scary thresholds pretty constantly for a long time.
A lot of growth and changes.
I don't know if that there was like one really big one.
Well,
there's like bigger and smaller ones
that I knew of, but when I was there.
Yeah. So in the last couple years, I started doing bigger and bigger things. I started traveling a lot with my teacher, Siana, and making some connections through that. And then, traveling overseas to film some online classes through Udaya Yoga. And that was a big growth edge for me, in that I was on set with this big camera crew, and it's kind of intense. And I had to prepare my classes, and you wanted to do a good job, and it is scary to take a sort of a new step and put yourself out there, put yourself in front of a camera, in front of a lot of people, and come up with something, that's really going to be out there representing you in a certain way. And also, I've started doing international retreats. Last one was in Costa Rica, which we'll do again, and we're going to do it every New Year.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So anytime that you feel the call in your heart to take a risk or to put something out there in a new way, there's going to be a feeling of fear, because the stakes are high. It's because you care.
Yeah.
It's because it's important to you. You're passionate about it. And if you weren't passionate about it and you didn't care, then it wouldn't be scary. Like, you could just do something safe, and it doesn't matter if it goes up, down, or whatever. So if you feel like a lot's at stake and you feel afraid, that's good. That means you're on the right track. And you just have to feel the fear and go for it anyway.
Do it anyway.
And the more you do that in small ways every single day, and the more you say yes to the big things that come up in life, the easier it gets. You might never stop feeling a little nervous or a little bit, uneasy when it's time to put yourself out there again, or do the next event, and you don't know if anyone's going to come, or put yourself out there in a new way. But what gives me strength, and what I think really is key to many other successful and inspiring people that I know, is it's not about you. It's actually not about you. It's about the work, and it's about the service, and it's about the creative expression of life as it's showing up through you and connecting with everyone else and everything else. So you're just doing your part in showing up and making your offering. But again, if you're listening to your heart and your highest knowing and following your intuition, there's really something bigger than you yourself personally happening, and you just get to co-participate in that, and you get to facilitate that, and you get to show up as your beautiful, unique self and add to that. Yeah. But it's not about you. So it's like that kind of takes the pressure off, and it doesn't matter in a certain way whether you succeed or fail, because if you've followed your heart and you've listened to your intuition and you've done what you know you're supposed to do, even if it doesn't work out, you can feel good at the end of the day knowing that, like, I did that. I followed my heart, and this is what was supposed to happen. And then you just let go of your attachment to the results. But there's nothing worse than not taking a risk, not taking that step into the unknown, and always wondering, you know, what could have been had I listened to my heart, had I taken the chance, had I not played it safe. That to me is a lot scarier than putting myself out there and failing.
Beautiful.
So if you look at it from that perspective, I think it'll give you the inner strength to just go for it.
Very well said. Beautiful. Very good answer. Very good answer. Wonderful. So, do you have any tips for anyone who would like to deepen her spiritual practice, who would like to get deeper into yoga, who would like to get more on her life path, make sure she's going in the right direction, or perhaps how to live a radiant life?
I do. As a woman, but as any kind of being, any person, I recommend getting in touch with your body and with nature on a regular basis. So the practices of yoga have just incredible. They have been instrumental and central to my life in every healing, every challenging, every transformative experience I've ever had. The practices have risen up to support me and give me clarity and confidence when otherwise everything is completely tumultuous, or, you know, the way isn't clear. But that's when the practices really rise up to support us. And from my perspective, spirituality as a human being on earth is an embodied experience. So you're not just living in this body as a soul floating around separately somewhere. You're many layers of self, and your body, your mind, your heart are an incredible vehicle for consciousness. So doing practices that take care of your physical form and heighten your sensitivity and connect you again to your intuition, which is really at the center of it all, are going to guide you right in the direction you want to go. So as women, we're very connected to the rhythms of nature, in particular the rhythms of the moon. And in a lot of the priestess work that I do, I encourage women to be aware of the moon, to be aware of the cycles of the moon. Is it the full moon? Is it the dark moon? Are we moving towards fullness? Are we moving inward? Where in the lunar cycle do you naturally bleed? When are you on your moon cycle? And paying attention to that. And getting in touch with these basic rhythms of life that are woven into your own physical body makes you realize that you're not separate. You're just not separate from all of nature and all of life. And it just makes it that much easier to be intuitive and guided by your inner knowing. So get out into nature as much as you can. Go to the ocean, go to the forest, go sit under the full moon, and turn off your devices more often than not. So you're not always plugged into the vibration of social media or emails or whatever, because that has a very specific vibration, and it really will deplete and drain you if you let it just sort of run amok. It has its place, and it's a tool, and it's useful, but we can't just be constantly tapped in. We got to pull ourselves out of that, and especially during these challenging times that we're living in today, plug ourselves into a different kind of vibration. So nature, super key. Pay attention and take care of your own body, how you eat, how you exercise, and really prioritize that, because that's where it's all going to come from. It's going to come from yourself, not from some book or some guru or some girl on a video telling you what to do like me. You're going to find it for yourself if you tap in.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Plug into nature. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
I love that. Beautiful. Okay. I also know that you're an artist, and you said that through your practice with yoga and just everything that you do, it's really helped you to be more creative in your art. So you want to talk a little bit about that, how your practice, your spirituality has helped fuel your creativity?
They kind of feed each other, and it's an ongoing relationship and an evolution. And for a long time, I was trying to make paintings and prints and drawings, which is what I was formally trained in and always did my whole life. And at the same time, I was trying to have a full-time yoga teaching career. And at a certain moment, I realized that my art was going to become my life. And it no longer had to be just drawing something on a piece of paper, but it was actually the way I organize my business, the way I promote myself, the way I get dressed, the way that I name my workshops, and just everything about my life became like prayerful art, like an offering to the world. And now I'm circling back many years later and finding new ways of actually going back to illustration and drawing, like making illustrations for the Goddess project for Sienna Sherman, or printing those goddesses on t-shirts, or sometimes people come to me and they want me to design logos for their conscious company or whatever they're starting up. And anytime that I have an event, I do all my own branding and marketing, from flyers to social media. I have that ability to pull out design and visual layouts that really serves everything that I do. And so my art and my yoga and my life and my practice, it's all just one quilt. It's like a tapestry. There's no real separation for me between life and work and art and spirit. It's really one integrated thing. And I think that's really, really important, so that you don't fragment yourself. Like, well, I'm an artist over here, and I'm resting on my day off over here, and I'm really a yoga teacher when I'm on stage over here. Who am I really? It's like, I'm all of those things and I'm none of those things. And it's an ever flowing conversation.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, because I know a lot of artists struggle with that. They do feel separate. They do feel like they have to show different personas. So to blend it all in and say, all of it is you, it's all flowing, it's all working and helping each other, that feels better, right? It doesn't feel like you're struggling.
Exactly.
It's easy.
Exactly.
Beautiful. And just want to put a shout out for Sonya, that she is a very talented artist. I love your work and all that you do on social media with the graphics. It's amazing. So very talented. So anything else you'd like to share for everyone who's watching? Anything coming up, or anything else they should know about you and your services and what you do?
Sure. Well, I offer yoga classes in the Bay Area, in San Francisco and Berkeley and Oakland, so you can always come take a public class with me at a number of studios. You can find my full schedule for teaching online at sonyayoga.com. And there you can also find upcoming retreats, trainings, and workshops that I'm doing. I work one-on-one with people, so I'm available for that. If you contact me through my website, I can talk to you about setting that up. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Sonya Yoga, and on Facebook at Sonya Genel.
Okay, perfect. Wonderful. And can they also watch online videos as well? Can they watch those on your website?
Yes.
Or how do they...
So my website also has links to my online classes, which are on yogavibes.com and also udaya.com.
Okay, perfect. Great. Everybody check Sonya out. She's amazing, very talented woman, very inspirational. And just want to close a little bit, talk a little bit about my business. So I am a visibility and confidence coach, as I mentioned, and you can check me out on my website. It's www.thedancingcurtain.com. So my business is The Dancing Curtain. You can find me on Facebook at The Dancing Curtain. You can find me on Twitter at Dancing Curtain. And I have recently just started a Facebook group. So if you are feeling like you want to get out there and be more visible and show your talents to the world, then I encourage you to come and join my Facebook group. It's called the Courageous Creative Professionals Gone Viral. So it's all about getting out there on online videos, and you can even practice. So for my Facebook group, you can get some feedback from me, practice some videos, get some tips, and just be a part of this really high vibe community. So I encourage you all to join me there and to watch the rest of my series on YouTube. Again, this is a series, the Confident Inspirational Women Across the Globe video series. And just check us out on Dancing Curtain on YouTube for lots of fabulous women all around the world sharing their inspirational stories. So thank you, Sonya, for being here today. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes, it was such an honor to see you and to hear your story. And thank you all for tuning in today to watch this video series. I wish you a wonderful, joyful day with many fun adventures and encourage you to live a life beyond your wildest dreams. Take care. Bye-bye.